Energy performance contract. What is an energy performance contract? And how come we've never talked about a bond last year or the year before, any of the goals, and all of a sudden now we're talking about this bond all of a sudden? So I want to take you back to last year's presentation throughout the budget. If you remember, we asked the community and they approved the capital reserve, meaning we already had the money. It was about 1.1 million in reserve. We asked the community if we could use 435,000 of that because we wanted to do the roof repairs, and from there we wanted to do the art room upgrade. So we did the art room and we did all the roof repairs, and we started a little bit of the seal coat, which is right over. I will show you some photos. There's over the third and fourth grade wing. And if you remember, I said over the next couple of years, we're hoping to draw down on the capital reserve while at the same time funding it. So maybe in potentially 4 or 5 years, we'll be able to move into. We've had a goal of solar panels on the roof for this is our 3rd year to have that goal in mind. So why all of a sudden are we changing and looking to a bond? Just to give some people some notices here, this is what's all the wet on the roof was removed. On the bottom right-hand corner, you'll see that's the seal coat. There'll be a better picture later. But why all of a sudden are we talking bond right now? And this is not politics at all. This is just factual information. I don't really care what side of politics you're on. But on July 4th, we passed a one big beautiful bill. Inside that was homeowners tax credits for solar panels for homeowners are done December 31st, 2025. So last month or 2 months ago, they expired. But for commercial solar panel credits, December 31st, 2027, they are going to end. And that doesn't mean you just had the solar panels up. It means the solar panels have to be up and connected to PSE&G, and you must be drawing money in from them. So, and I'm assuming, like us, there's going to be a lot of other people out there that are looking to do something similar to what we're doing, like expedite it so we can get the rebates. So PSE&G, I'm assuming for the next year and a half, they're going to be a lot of people asking them to hook them up. So what is an energy performance contract? It's basically right there in the first paragraph, but it's basically how do we improve energy efficiency of the facility? What the big thing about the contract is, they're guaranteed the savings. So you'll see it's about $776,000. The company is going to guarantee over an 18-year period, you will make that back, paying itself off. And I'm talking through how it's going to pay itself off. So things to know though, this is not a community vote per se. For example, the Board of Ed is allowed by New York State to enter into energy performance contracts without a community vote. So the board can easily do that. A lot of schools do it. But there's a second piece to that, a caveat. If the board considers a community vote, it's additional 10% off building aid for the project. So, and it's a big thing, and I can just speak to a district where I live. We did an energy performance contract. There was, I believe, 2,600 voters, and 600 of them voted no. So you're not voting no on the project. You're voting no, I don't want the rebate. So it would make no sense to ever vote no on this proposition. So you're not voting no for the project, you're voting, so if you vote yes, you get 10% back. If you vote no, you're just voting no, I don't want the 10% back. So if we do move forward with this, we have to work together collectively to kind of get that message out there. A no vote on this question is just a no vote, I don't want the rebate back. You'll see the rebate's about 84. So what is the energy performance contract? What do we get for this? So everyone's going to know about the solar panels. Solar panels is only a piece of it. So if you remember last year, Kevin and the whole crew, they did all the lights inside the building. And PSE&G gave us all the rebates for that. So this would be most of the lighting on the external part of the building. Door gaps, a great example. If you go out this hallway and you look straight out that door, you'll see snow. You can see there's gaps in some of our doors, and every school has them. If you can see a little bit of light coming out of a door, they're going to firm all those up for more energy efficient. We have rooftop motors, steam traps. Every school that has train wants to do the steam traps. 20 compressors on the roof. If you look in the car room, you'll see over by where the cafeteria by the 5th grade, or I'm sorry, where the faculty staff room is in the 5th grade, you'll see there is an electrical room right there. There's a transformer in there, that will be brand new. And the plug load controllers, something very new that I just learned about recently is basically that plugs into your wall. And for example, your Promethean board will plug into the plug load controller, and it would shut it off at certain times that we deem it to be needed to shut off. For example, 10 to 7. So I'm sure if you drive by or you go by a classroom sometimes, you'll see the Promethean board. If it's just blowing right in there and you hop on, you'll see the blue screen. That wouldn't happen anymore with these plug controllers. So the proposal is $776,765. That is 100% guaranteed to be paid for after the 18 years. They actually worked out a payment plan at 15 years, but they guarantee the 18 years. And what that means is, for example, If something were to go wrong where we can only save 700,000, that means the company after 18 years gives us a $76,000 check. So when they make this guaranteed, they're not going to guarantee something that they're going to lose money. So they're going to guarantee that this is going to happen. So if we do the community vote, which I would highly recommend we do, if we move in this direction, that's $77,676 per set. The reason I would say we should expedite this is because the rebate that we would be getting back is also $84,000. If we chose not to do it, we chose to do it in increments of 4, 5, 6 years, whatever it is, then we would be losing the $84,000 rebate. And if you think 4, 5, 6 years later, obviously that number is going to go up by the energy performance contract. It's just simple math in school districts. Everything goes up, still goes up. Solar panels going to go up. So if you're looking at it right now, with the rebate, with the community vote, you're looking at like $614,000 that they're going to guarantee us that we're going to get back over the next 18 years. So that's $162,000 of savings with the community vote and the rebate. But that's only one piece of it. So while we're doing this piece, we want to make sure our roof is done. So this is over the 3rd and 4th grade, which is right there. That piece is done. That's what the seal coat looks like. When people say seal coat, it's a really thick piece of rubber, I guess is a nice way to explain it. And it's a thick piece of rubber. You can't cut it. You can't rip it. We've tried. They give us a little piece to try it out. So when I say seal coat, I know some people say, well, it's like the seal coat of your driveway. It's not that. It is super thick. You're not breaking, you're not ripping it. It gives you another 30 years on your roof. So the problem is you're looking at almost $2 million just to finish the rest of the roof with that. So we've only did a piece of our roof. That's 3rd and 4th. For another $2 million, you're looking at the rest of the roof. But with that said, that's going to buy us another 30 years at least.
Still cheaper. Still cheaper.
Yes. So you can hear me, Mr. Doyle, it's actually much cheaper than replacing the entire. But we did fix all the wet spots, so obviously when we fixed everything, this will go on top of it. You go right outside the landing when you leave in the lower gallery, you'll see this is some of the curving right here for the staircase, the landing, and where people come in the back. This is where we're going to fix all the staircase, fix the landing, and we would pave that road back there for about $100,000. That would be paved with the curbs right around by the baseball field, by backstops. One question that's come up in this safety meeting, and I would say come up from residents or parents in the last couple of years to me personally, is we truly value security in the school. We have armed guards. We have most of the perimeter enclosed. Why would we value security so much but not have that one piece enclosed? And it is a fair statement. So, if you take a look right here, I think everyone can see this. That would be a double fence right there. That would allow the lawnmowers. That would allow the tractor to go through a double fence right there. That's where the kindergarten is. Over here would be another double fence or another double gate. That would be from the pickleball basketball court to the shed. And then if you know the backyard, right over here is the end of the shed. The fence would go across here. There would be a gate in the middle so you get to the garden. And this is the other side of the garden. That would cut through right here and match up with the fence in the back. That was $19,000, but that is also encompassing a 4-foot fence around the basketball/pickleball court. And why when we say that? Because if you see the skid marks on there, we do say no e-bikes. Saturday, Sundays, not everyone's going to listen to that. We understand that. So we could encompass that, a 4-foot fence around that, and that would stop at least the e-bikes from going 30 miles an hour in the backfield and kind of slamming the brakes on the pickleball court, basketball court, and ruining that a little bit. Also, we have a choice between a 4-foot or a 6-foot fence. And it came up in the safety committee meeting, so I was bringing it up here. Do we want this place to be safe but not look like it's a prison? So what's the fine line on that? So maybe the 4-foot fence, 6-foot fence can scare people, but also 6-foot fence more deterrent. So these are all good conversations that we can have with the board and the safety committee. But either way, if we go to a 4-foot fence, that just brings that $19,000 down. But that's the most of it. Awnings. This one right here. Been a question since I've been here. We have a walker door right here. Is there any way we can put some kind of structure over that so when the students are standing outside for the walker door that they wouldn't get rained on or any kind of weather related? Another question is, we have such a beautiful beginning to our school. Is there a way that could be attached? So kids could stand here or the security guards or even the teachers at the school, and that would be attached right here where people could stand there without getting anything over. Bathrooms. We have a lot of bathrooms, and especially, you guys see the ones that are in the hallways. These bathrooms we're talking about right now, for the most part, is kindergarten first. Kindergarten wing is right behind us. There are 4 bathrooms over there, so three kindergarten classrooms. We also have a special class over there. Those 4 bathrooms will be updated. We have 2 adult bathrooms here, 2 kids bathrooms here will be updated. And you work your way to the 1st and 2nd grade, which is the oldest part. Those are the bathrooms that you'll see the photos of here. That's probably one, that's actually Mr. Haynes' bathroom right there. But our 1st and 2nd grade wing, that one is our oldest part of the building. That would be Mrs. Capolino's right here from across the gym. Also the art room and the 6 classrooms in that wing. The 5th and 6th grade in the front. And I don't know if you know this, but Stacy York in 6th grade, she has a bathroom in there that we update. It's not a full remodel, it's not a full renovation. So it is a new floor. Anybody who has brick for the wall, we get it painted. These all will be brand new. And the big piece is where the sinks are and the cupboards are, those will all be brand new. So it's not going to be the whole wall on the inside. If you have tile, a lot of those tiles are still nice. But if you have the wall like that right there, that would be brand new. So I know when you look at that price, you're like 19 bathrooms, 400,000. If I do a bathroom in my house, it's 10,000. It's not how it works in the school district. You got to look at prevailing wage. And when you go out for bids, they never come in. You're not getting the guy that's doing your house. When you talk about prevailing wage, it's a very different when you're paying somebody $66 an hour and they got 7 guys. Greenhouse and garden. When we put the greenhouse in, it was right over the sidewalk. So you can see the rocks on the side. It's not a flat level in there. So Mr. Jones has a great idea. He's going to put those rocks and kind of tandem them down together. He's going to put new rubber floor in there. They're going to put new plant tables in there, new student tables. And when we say 2 sinks, 1 sink's going to go in here, and 1 sink's going to go outside for the garden area. So what came up from the safety committee was, can we run the school on a generator, and what would that cost? So we did talk to our engineer. We told him that one on the left-hand side right here, the $350,000 generator, you could run this school as is right now. I don't know if we need that. I don't think anybody's recommending that per se, but that was the question, so we looked into it. It's about $350,000. That means you can run your boilers, you can run any room, any classroom, all your stuff in the cafeteria. But if you look at this one over here on the right-hand side, that one's more of a $200,000 generator. That runs all of your boilers, to get all your heating system going, and that would run all of our cafeteria. So obviously, like for example, we had a power outage over Christmas break. Then we found out about it, we lost all the food in our freezers. The insurance company can cover it, but I mean, that was just one example of where that generator would have came in handy. So we could do the $350,000 one. There is a lower one at $200,000. That's more economical, or we don't have to move in that direction. Handicap accessible sidewalk. You got to picture yourself on the back of our property, coming in the middle gate. If you take a look at the picture on the right, that's when you're coming in the backfield and you're looking left. That sidewalk will go right next to that tree. It will not disturb the tree. It will go straight down all the way around the backstop to the bleachers. And if you know at the end of that, that's where they put the porta potty when the Little League is there. And then if you look at the picture on the left, that one would go straight down there around the backstop to the bleachers. So if a family wanted to go to the playground, they would use the front of the school. If a family wanted to go to the baseball field, they would use actually the back fence of home. Bike rack, that one's one of the easier ones that is more affordable. And the last one, or actually just a couple more, IT window. That's one of the rooms where the kids go for any issues with their Chromebooks or their MacBooks. That leads out to here. We want to put a window in there. We do have 2 people working there, and the kids go in there. We wouldn't like a window in the spot where kids go. And obviously, Ms. Waller, I'm sure Mr. Sinclair would love a window behind him so he's not sitting in that room all day, every day. Gymnasium blinds. If you take a look here, we do have blinds on these. They're not motorized, but the ones we're looking into for the gym, we have 2 different options, Mr. Jones and Mr. Doyle's looking into, but right now we have ones that are solar. So if you use it all the time, they could get stuck. And then there's electrical ones. So it's give and take. The solar ones are nice, but if you use it too much, you might have to wait for the sun. They're very honest with that. If you get the electric ones, you have to run the conduit for the electricity. Obviously, make sure the conduit's up there so you can get electricity to the blinds. So worst case scenario, we took the electrical ones, you're looking at 8,000. If we take these solar ones, you're looking more than 5,000. Heating and cooling is a big ticket item. I mean, looking at any school districts, heating and cooling is a big deal. This is our 1st and 2nd grade wing right here. They look like this. They're very old, they need to be updated. Heating and cooling is a big deal. So this alone would help save some of our energy efficiency as well. But you're talking about the first and second grade wing, you're talking about kindergarten, you're talking about third and fourth grade wing. Sixth grade is a wing that has the heating and cooling hooked up to the system, because that's the newest part of the building. So this right here would save us a lot of energy, make it more efficient as well. So I know this is hard to see, but those are every number I had on each slide for a total of about 3.8 million. So he's added them all up, but I think this, more importantly, is the next slide. So here's some frustrating news to me, at least. And so when I first was working with Mr. Doyle and the company, we were talking about, let's separate these out. There's no reason to put these together because the $776,000 is going to pay for itself from the energy that we're not going to be paying PSE&G each year. So we'll be able to pay that off over 18 years. And it ends up being, we're going to get some money back from that each year from our rebates. So let's use that and not go out for that money. And they'll get a loan on the side for that. Unfortunately, if we break it up the way I'd like to, the energy performance contract, we get a loan for $776. We pay the company. We pay that off over the 18 years of the money we save. They're going to give us a 3.75 interest rate. If we combine them, so I'm talking about the 776 and the 3.8, makes it a $4.6 million bond. They'll give us a 3.5 interest. So 0.25% doesn't sound like much. Over 18 years, it's a lot of money. So as much as I would love to tell people we're doing a $3.8 million bond, we have to tell people we're doing a 4.6, knowing that 776 is going to pay for itself. It's just that when we get the money, we have to take the 3.5% rate. Otherwise, we're going to go to 3.7% if we only go up to 3.8. So what does that mean? That means it's a $4.6 million bond. And we talk about assessed value. It's not about what your house will sell for. That's what's your value of your house that you can get somebody to pay you. Assessed value is what is assessed at, not what somebody will buy it. So 800 is a little high. We're going to be more in the $600,000 range most people in the community. If you are at $800,000 house, that might sell for 2, might sell for 1.7. So if you are on the high side of assessed value of 800,000, you're looking at basically 130, we'll say, per year, or if you want to say 11 per month. If you are assessed at 600, that's going to be about 100 per month, or 100 per year, or 8 per month. That's that being, we're looking at 15 years. They want to pay it off 15 or 3.5. So things can be added, things can be removed, but that's kind of what talking to people in the district. And like for this morning, we gave this presentation to the faculty and staff. The only thing that really came up that I can remember is, would we ever consider an awning right outside the store for the lower gallery?